Zen.
Okay, so we generally have we are lucky enough to split our dressing room area. Oh, by the way, from this door to the curtain, that's basically dressing room area.
You're in the inner sanctum.
This is the centermost. This, as far as the band is concerned, this is where we kind of live when we're at the show. With the tours being what they are these days, we aren't at the show for very long. We generally show up.
75 minutes before the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple hours, but yeah, 75 minutes before show we do, your LPU meet and greet. We do a little bit of press. We try and keep that minimal so we don't get too distracted before the show. In our warm up for the show, we also include, some what is it now? 20 minutes or 30 minutes of downtime?
30 minutes of quiet time.
And I ask because it's it wanders a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little shorter. You want to just close that real quick? So and our dressing room area kind of changes from time to time. Right now, I didn't name the rooms, but Anna there did. And the Zen room is the mellow room. That's where if you need some quiet, if you need to really, if stuff is getting too noisy and whatever, you need to focus. The guys spend time in here, stretching, maybe reading, stuff like that. The den is the get dressed, hang out, whatever, and in the fuel room.
So remember that when we arrive in the morning, these rooms have nothing in them.
So the furniture comes with. I read a really hilarious piece before we played Tel Aviv. I read a piece that said that Lincoln Park demanded 100 and something towels to be displayed on gold racks made of gold. We demanded we demanded 2 weeks worth of food. We demanded some other crazy. Oh, we demanded throat. We demanded packages of throat.
Throat coat tea.
So deciphering what that actually means. Yes, we do use a lot of towels because we use them on stage, but then all of the crew has to shower and stuff like that. So there are a lot of towels. As you can see right here, you don't put your stuff that you're trying to keep clean on the dirty road case that's been in the muck all the time. So you put your clean towel on it and you put your stuff on top. We use towels for all kinds of things around here. So yeah, we do need a lot of towels. What was the second thing? Not the throat, but the 2 weeks of food. That's definitely an exaggeration.
And that may also be because we're feeding 35 people, and they're only looking at the 6 of you.
Yeah, they may have thought that meant 6 of us are going to eat that amount of food. If you guys know anything about Music for Relief, you'd know that not only would that be horribly wasteful and that we would hate that idea, but that we actually, when we can on a lot of these shows, we get together with some charity organizations that actually feed the homeless with food that we don't eat. So if we have a loaf of bread in there that we didn't touch, sometimes that, there are rules and regulations about how that can be done, but sometimes that food actually ends up going to people that can't provide for themselves. So we try and do that too. And the throat is actually a tea. It's called throat coat. It's a typical thing that a lot of vocalists use to just, keep your throat in proper working condition. Lockers. Are these lockers? Yeah, those are our lockers with clothes, show clothes in them. These drawers right here are our
everyday supplies.
Everyday stuff. Sometimes you get allergies. You need allergy medication. And Anna. Hi. I'm gonna say hi. This is Anna.
Hi. Hi.
Anna is master of the wardrobe and this whole area, really. She sets this all up and manages it and our various needs. We have guys that have dietary restrictions and can't eat certain things. If they were to eat dairy, your whole system would be wrecked and it would probably mess up your show. So she makes sure that doesn't happen. And that we have nice, clean clothes.
Really important.
Yeah, you can't always go out on stage wearing whatever. Let me just check in this one. hang out here. So you can see it. Can you slide that? Please don't like touching the wall. Yeah, this is hangout rooms. And we have on this tour. We've been setting up for the first time. We didn't for a while do any like rehearsal or whatever in the dressing room. We kind of just went straight to stage. Now we're setting up the keyboard and some guitars and whatever, and we do a little jamming before the show. Hence like the Adele thing and stuff like that. Like we just kind of mess around. We don't carry all of this. Do we carry all this furniture and I just haven't seen some of it?
What's that like?
I don't usually see some of it.
We carry what?
We don't carry all of this. Some of this furniture
We
is
don't
here.
carry the physical furniture.
Yeah, I was going to
We're
say.
carrying all the furniture dressing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so they're not, I mean, the rooms weren't completely empty. So yeah, that's it. Showers, bathrooms, things like that. We don't generally shower here. The crew does though. And when it comes to, stay by Chester.
Hi.
Thank you, Chester. Let's go this way, you guys. When we were, oh, that's a good, when we were first getting started, what's up, buddy? You need to get some? Sorry. Tater does our monitor mixes, so he mixes what we hear on stage, which is vastly different from what you guys hear out there. You guys know how that works actually? Monitors and things like that. For a band playing on stage, you don't like every guy in our band probably wants to hear their mix a little bit differently. Just to give you an idea of how mixing kind of works. Like when you make an album, you make tracks of audio, right? There's a bunch of tracks that come this way. Do you need to get? Oh, okay. There's a bunch of tracks that make up the drums. There's a track for the snare and the kick and the tracks for overhead. There's a track for guitar. There's a track for Brad's guitar, my guitar, vocals. One for each, okay? And there's a careful balance that goes on with all that stuff. What you guys hear out in the front of house is supposed to sound really close to the album and hopefully accentuate the best parts of the live performance, right? But what we want to hear on stage is what's going to help us play the best. So whereas in the mix you might hear guitars really loud, I may want to hear drums really loud and I want guitars muted, gone, no guitar, because I'm rapping and I want to hear the rhythm. So that's in our monitor mix. Taylor, who just walked by, if you were to hear some of our mixes, you'd think they were crazy. They really sound weird. In Chester, you'll sometimes hear him say on stage, like when we're talking to the crowd, you'll sometimes hear, like I'll say something and he'll say, I have no idea what you just said. That's because we're in between two songs where he's got my voice turned almost all the way down, and he literally doesn't know what I'm saying. Happens to me too, and vice versa. Every band is different. There's no right way to do monitors. And some bands, they don't. We use in-ear monitors, which are like little headphones. They're essentially like plugging your ears, but then only letting the sound of the, whatever you want to come through. Some bands don't do that. Some bands just do speaker monitors. It's just a personal preference thing, really. And when we were first getting started, I think the monitor thing was like really, it's like a tricky part of being a baby band, because you don't know who your monitor engineer is going to be, if there even is one. So you show up at the venue in the afternoon for a sound check, if you get one, and the monitor engineer will just basically be the guy who works at the club. And he's never heard your music before. He has no idea. And we show up, we've got a DJ with a rig the size of a refrigerator, and two vocalists, and he doesn't know he's never heard the songs, so he doesn't know how loud to make Chester or how loud to make me. So it was, in the early days, it was very, very hard to play good shows. That's why, we're so lucky to have what we've got going on now.
It's not a job anybody wants.
Tater's job?
Tater's job is not a job anybody wants.
It takes a very specific skill set and talent, too.